Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how I clean my Durastill distiller. I do this about every 6 months, and it's pretty easy. It's just done in about 4 steps. Step number 1 is what I'm doing right here is I'm basically emptying the storage tank here into my glass jars. So there's about 4.5 gallon contained here in the storage tank, and this is about my last gallon here, and I'm just about to finish emptying that out. After I'm done emptying that out, I'm gonna turn on the boiler here, and I'm gonna leave it for about 30 minutes. There's water in here and it's heating up the water right now. I don't need it to get to a boiling state, but I just need it to be heated up because my Descaler, which is chemical to help dissolve the minerals, etc., that gets deposited in there, have to have hot water in there. So that's what we're doing here. We're heating it up. But before I forget, please make sure that you shut off the turn off the water that goes to the distiller. So that's this line right here that goes to that particular valve for me behind my water softener here. Make sure that you turn that off so that we can get started with the third step, which is changing the pre-distillation filter here. All you need is 2 adjustable, actually one would just be enough, adjustable wrench, and just start unhooking or disassembling the filter just by attaching it here and turning it counterclockwise. What the hell?
Deal?
It's a lot too.
Salt?
It's not salt. You want to taste it?
What do you think?
Okay, I usually buy a Durastill original filter, but this time I decided to try a different brand. This is Eastman Ice Maker water filter. I believe this have the same type of connection, which is basically I think there are 3/4 inch MIP compression into here and here. So it just takes the same connection here that we have. And the reason I picked this one is mainly because Durastill is out of stock. Right now is just a few months after the pandemic. Well, actually the pandemic is still on, it's still going on, but this one is just cheaper. The same, the spec is the same. The amount of pressure that it can accept is the same. The capacity is the same. It's about 1,500 gallon per 6 month. So either 6 month or 1,500 gallon, you have to change this filter. So this is a filter that is designed to be before it goes water before it goes to the boiler. So this is from the water source coming over here. The flow goes this way, and this is before it gets to the boiler, not after it's distilled. This is before it's distilled. Okay, so my new filter comes with all kinds of different brass fitting attachments, including compression, flare, etc. And so it's really nice, but I don't actually need it because it's the exact same type of connection that the Durastill has. So it just goes basically just a screw in. But I do want to remind you that every time you change filter, you do need to apply a new coat of Teflon tape on the connection to make sure it doesn't leak. Alright, so I just turned off the boiler. It's kind of warm here, or actually hot. So it's not, I don't think it's boiling yet, but it's definitely already warm enough for us to put the descaler here. So this is a descaler that I bought again from Amazon. I decided to go all non-Durastill this time to see how it goes. I think it's fine. Any descaler, this one is specifically for distiller, cleaner and descaler. So the instruction is pretty simple. Number one, you just need to make the water, hot water to boil in the tank, and after that you open it, and after you open it, you put 3 tablespoons of this descaler inside the tank, and then you wait 12 hours overnight, and then tomorrow you drain it using the faucet right here, this faucet right here, so that you can get the water out. All right, so I'm going to continue to heat up the water until it boils, and then put 3 tablespoons of this. Okay, it's been about 24 hours actually. The descaler only calls for 12 hours worth of saturation, or just leave it for 12 hours, but I actually left it for now 24 hours. And I'm brushing the walls of the distiller inside all around, all the 4 sides, and I can feel that the minerals are getting brushed off. From this wall I can definitely see it, and it's all already removed. And I'm just trying to do all the walls, including the heating element at the very bottom. There's a heating element. I know I cannot show it here in the video, but there is a heating element at the bottom. You want to make sure that you try to do to clean that. The water is still a little bit warm actually after 24 hours, so it's still a good time to do some brushing. There's a flotation device in the middle, kind of like a ball, and I clean that one with my hand. Just not really clean it, just kind of use your hand. The descaler actually is not very toxic, so I didn't even wear a glove, but you may want to wear a glove if you are tend to be allergic and react to chemical, etc. Better to wear a glove basically. And just brushing all around it, and then after this we're going to do a rinse, meaning like I'm gonna open the faucet over there and get a water container or bottle, and we're gonna rinse all this sediments. I also was able to take my hand and grab a whole chunk of sediments from the bottom. From the bottom left corner, there's this whole chunk of sediments here. And there's some, oh no, that's not part of it. That was already in the cup, some metal. But yeah, so this is the sediment that came out of it, and pretty gooey, and quite a bit of sediment there. Okay, so I finished cleaning the inside, and I'm just gonna show you what it looks like. So that's the inside of my tank. This is about 4 years old. As you can see, there's quite a bit of scaling, but at least it's clean. There's some sediment still left, but that is actually pretty clean. I have a copper strap in there, and that copper strap is basically a way for me to lift that heating element, which over time has kind of fallen down for some reason towards the bottom, but it still works really well. But it's just kind of it's touching the metal directly if I don't have that copper standoff. All right, so Next, I'm going to replace this post filter. This post filter is when the water from after it's being distilled, it comes to this hose right here, and it comes to here, and it goes this way, and it goes into the tank. So this post filter, again, I used to use Durastill, but this time I'm gonna use something else. This is a 10-inch post carbon filter, rated about the same PSI, rated about the same capacity, 1500 gallon. So every 6 months you have to change this. And so I'm just going to replace this with this. The connections are exactly the same, so I'm just going to unscrew it here, and put it down, put it up to here. Make sure that you use Teflon tape. I have completed the cleaning, and currently got the top closed, and I went through one cycle of 4 gallons, more like probably 4.5 gallons of water being distilled. And make sure that you throw away that first cycle of 4.5 gallons to make sure that you go through the new filter, the inlet and the out. So the pre-filter and the post-filter, both you went through, because usually those filters you have to throw away a certain amount of water before you start using it. Since we use the Descaler also, remember, you have to make sure that the first at least 4 gallon is thrown away, because it may contain some still residual chemicals from the Descaler that you do not want to ingest. So anyways, the process is done. Just to recap again, first thing I did was changing out that filter, heating up, turning it on and heating up the boiler to make it boil. Put 3 or 4 tablespoons of Descaler in there, make it boil, leave it for at least 12 hours, and start brushing inside, and then start emptying it out, all that water through the faucet. And I pour in a lot of water in afterwards to make sure that I just clean it out inside here, and until the water is completely clean and there's just some very small residue of sediments in there, which are just a mineral. But I took out probably 99.5% of all the sediment that is inside the boiler tank. After that, I replaced that filter, which is the post filter. That water distilled comes from there, from that pipe right there, and then it goes to the back, comes in through here, and then it goes inside the container tank to be stored until I dispense it inside my this is my temporary water, but I use glass water jugs. If you are looking for a good glass water jug, I'm gonna put a link in my video description. If you like to buy it, please use my link. It helps support my channel. Other than that, I'm also going to put links for those filters. Those save me about $10 each difference between those off brands versus the Durastill. I think they work just as well. And I'm going to give a pro tip. Every time you clean and do a maintenance like this and change the filter, you have to make sure that you mark the filter with the date that you actually did the service. So, sorry, that was bad writing, but I'm actually writing 6 for June 4th, 21. Okay, that's the date that I installed it. So December 4th, 2021 is when I need to change that filter. 6 month or 1500 gallon is the capacity for that filter, and it's the same for that. So every time I change that, I also change that filter too. All right, that's it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you find this useful. Remember, again, you need to do this every 6 months to a year, depending on your use. I generate about 4 gallons of distilled water per day. That's a lot. That is probably the max rated for this kind of system that I have here. This is a 4.5 gallon container tank, and I need to replace the filters and clean this out every 6 months just to keep everything running well. If you like this content and you find this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you like this kind of content, DIY related topics, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel to see more do-it-yourself video like these and support my channel. Thank you.